Part 118. The vicious female supporting character's character collapsed after her voice was eavesdropped. Author, R.O. Wich Jong Word. Chapter 1171. Chapter 1171. Sun Zhuang agreed. Sunian raised his head when he heard this. I responded obediently. Then he walked to Sun Ying'er and took her arm. Sister, I really haven't gone shopping for a long time, and I haven't bought clothes for a long time. Although those brands have sent clothes to my house, I feel like there is no need at all. Shopping is fun. You go shopping, I'll carry your bags for you. With that said, the three of them planned to walk outside. Looking like he doesn't care. The more he didn't care, the more Sun Zhuang felt irritated. Sun Zhuang looked at the three people. I felt that if I just let the three of them leave like this, I might really be doomed, and I couldn't let the company be doomed like this. But just giving it to Sun Ying'er, to his daughter, Sun Zhuang felt that if he really did this, then, it would definitely be looked down upon. But Sun Zhuang thought like this. He could only say, "You, what are you trying to do? Do you just want to force us to death? Mr. Sun, you can't say that. Why do we want to force you to death? What did we do to force you to death? We even gave you a choice. Such a good solution, why don't you cherish it?" Sunian, when he said this, he sighed deeply. Such words really made Sun Zhuang even more worried. Sun Ying'er. But Sun Ying'er's face showed no expression at all. Obviously, Sun Ying'er is not moved at all. That's it? What else can Sun Zhuang do but shout, "I promise, I promise, I promise." When he shouted such words, Sun Zhuang really felt that his whole person's energy was gone. He knew that he was finished, completely finished. But when Sun Ying'er heard this, she didn't feel happy at all, she even wanted to laugh. Since Sun Zhuang agreed, it was time for Sunian to do something. Immediately find a dedicated lawyer from the Li group. And formulate various legal documents as soon as possible. Sun Zhuang was really confused when he saw the documents in front of him. Sunian sat next to him and drank milk tea. What do you mean by being so nagging? What do you want to do? Do you want to regret it? If you want to regret it, then just say, "I will take people away now, we won't disturb you." Sun Zhuang picked up the pen. And Lu Jing said at this time, "Hey, what is this called? You call it self-inflicted and you can't live. Why did you choose Huo Linyuan? What's the benefit of choosing Huo Linyuan? If you treat my aunt's son as a little princess, you will pamper me. If it's my grandson, then maybe my aunt will regard you as her elder now. If this is really the case, you don't have any benefits. Hey, why are you so stupid? You are really stupid. I have never thought that you are so stupid." That's right, Lu Jing was being sarcastic. After all, what so-called abilities does Lu Jing have? Sun Zhuang's expression really changed. Sun Ying'er spoke at this time. If I guessed correctly, then in my father's eyes, he may think that being Huo Linyuan's father-in-law has more benefits. Sunian also cooperated and said, "After all, calling me daddy is better than a guy like me who is a monk halfway. Hey, Mr. Sun is really smart, but now I am really curious, where is your good son-in-law, where is your good son-in-law missing?" Sun Zhuang's brows were furrowed. But what else can be done now? No. Just like that, Sun Zhuang signed something. End of this chapter. The vicious female supporting character's character collapsed after her voice was eavesdropped. Author, R.O. Wich Jong Word. Chapter 1172. Chapter 1172. Fairness and taking advantage of others are not the same thing. But just finished signing all the documents in Sun Zhuang. Someone broke in immediately. The person who came in was none other than the old lady Huan Er and Sun Yan. Sun Yan pinched her grandma hard when she saw this scene. The old lady immediately came to her senses after being pinched so hard by Sun Yan, and then threw herself in front of Sun Shuang. Sun Shuang, you bastard, why do you make such random decisions? Sun Yan knew that things were almost done. But Sun Yan was really a little unwilling. Why can this Sun Ying'er get everything? You have to get some benefits yourself, then that's okay. And this old lady also thinks the same way, just persuade the old lady yourself. Why do you want to give birth to a daughter like this? Your daughter is really too much. Why don't you teach your daughter well? If you had taught your daughter well, she wouldn't be like this. At this time, Sunian's voice rang out, okay, old lady, don't howl here, it's useless, and you're wasting time. You brought your other granddaughter here, don't you just want to make a little money? After all, Sun Ying'er has gained so much now. If as a younger sister, she has gained nothing, it would be strange if people would not laugh at her if word spread about it. This is Sun Yan's first contact with Sunian. I have heard before that this Sunian is not a simple person. Although Sun Yan was a little prepared, she was still a little scared when she actually faced this Sunian. This Sunian. Sun Ying'er became interested when she heard Sunian's words, Nian Nian, what did you think of? I also think it's fair. Sister, you have an engagement with the Huo family. Since you got the company, I think it's normal for your sister to get a man you don't want. Sunian's words made Sun Ying'er immediately confused. Got the idea? There is such a big thunder on Sun Yan's head now. It would be fun if this thunder came to the Huo family. Sun Yan did not expect that Sunian would say this. She was not a fool. Of course she knew that Sunian wanted to use her to deal with the Huo family, but when did she care about these things, as long as she could marry Huo Linyuan? As long as you can marry into the Huo family, it's not up to you. Sister, you. Okay, Sun Zhuang, take your mother and get out of here. It won't be good if you affect my sister's mood here. After all, we are fair enough. As an elder of the Sun family, the old lady had absolute rights in the Sun family. Of course she felt bad after being treated like this, and she immediately looked at Sunian. But Sunian didn't give the old lady a chance to deal with him. Old lady, what do you mean? Do you want to scold me? Come on, if you want to scold me, then just scold me, but I don't want to forget my identity, you don't treat me. Sun Zhuang was frightened to death by these words. Hurry and drag this old lady away. Sun Yan still wants to say something. But Sunian said, we have been fair enough. What else do you want? If I give you the company again, do you really think we are being taken advantage of? Sun Yan looked at Sunian. She felt that Sun Ying'er was so lucky to meet Sunian and gain Sunian's trust. If she had Sun Ying'er's luck. Sun Yan knew that the possibility of snatching the Sunian away from Sun Ying'er was a little small, but Sun Yan still wanted to fight for it, and then walked up to Sunian. Sunian, I have wanted to know you for a long time, you are different from the women I have seen, and it is indeed different when I see you today. End of this chapter. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. The vicious female supporting character's character collapsed after her voice was eavesdropped. Author, R.O. Wich Jong Word. Chapter 1173. Chapter 1173. Lu Jing escaped quickly. These words really surprised Sunian. Because Sunian hadn't seen such a stupid person for a long time. And because there was something wrong with Sunian's eyes, Sun Yan felt as if she had become. So he acted arrogantly. But at this moment, Sun Ying'er walked directly in front of her and gave Sun Yan a slap. Yes, a slap. Get out of here now, get out of here right now. If you don't get out of here, I will definitely make your life worse than death. Sun Yan did not expect that the Sun Ying'er would be like this. And Lu Jing directly kicked Sun Yan hard, and son, I told you to get out, don't you know? If you don't get out quickly, what are you doing here? If you really don't understand what I'm saying, then I don't mind taking care of you. These words made Sun Yan's face change. What else can the Sun family do? Of course, they should leave immediately. Seeing Sun Ying'er like this, Sun Yan couldn't help but joke, sister, you looked really fierce just now. Do you know that when you suddenly said that just now, I thought you were reluctant to let go of that Huo Linyuan? But after Sun Yan said this, Sun Ying'er's expression changed. Sun Yan put away his smile when he saw Sun Ying'er's expression change. Don't say that. If you say that, it means you are competing with Huo Linyuan. But how can Huo Linyuan compete with you? He is not qualified at all. I am just worried. Sun Yan looked at Sun Ying'er and smiled, what are you worried about? Are you worried that I will fall in love with that Sun Yan and be friends with that Sun Yan? Ha ha ha, why do you think so? Sun Ying'er also knew that she was a little silly for thinking this way, very silly, but such a fearful emotion could not be described in words. Maybe the more you care about it, the more afraid you will be. So he laughed when he heard what Sun Yan said. Actually, I just want Sun Yan to become a thunder, a bright thunder. That is why Huo Linyuan wants to marry the Sun family so much, then we will help her. At the same time, I also want to know what Lan Min in prison will do if he knows this news. Any ideas? Sun Yan certainly knew about Sun Yan. Since she likes to grab things so much, then help her. As a younger sister, I can be considered as helping my sister to vent her anger. At this moment, Lu Jing moved his body silently, Auntie, you look so vicious and scary. These words made all the emotions that Sun Yan had been brewing disappear. Then he looked at Lu Jing fiercely, what do you mean by this? Do you think I am vicious? If you really think I am vicious, then I don't mind being vicious to you, and I will hit you hard vicious, let you know the consequences of having a vicious aunt. Lu Jing laughed when he heard this, hey, aunt, what do you mean by saying this? Aunt, how can you be so vicious? I was just joking with you just now, aunt, what's going on with you, you seem to be so stingy now that you can't even make jokes. Sun Yan raised his eyebrows slightly, I didn't expect you to be so interested. If that's the case, then. Before Sun Yan could finish what he said, Lu Jing walked away. Yes, he walked away. Before Sun Yan said the words of punishment, Lu Jing disappeared completely. End of this chapter. The vicious female supporting character's character collapsed after her voice was eavesdropped. Author, R.O. Wich Jong Word. Chapter 1174. Chapter 1174 Making Trouble. Sun Ying'er took over the Sun family in this way. Sun Yan also began to inject funds. This caused many people who had regretted before to go back to Sun Ying'er to cooperate. The Li group also began to support the Sun group, and the Lu family also began to protect them. Sun group became a hot company in an instant. Many people want to have something to do with Sun Ying'er. After all, in the current situation, as long as she waits for Sun Ying'er's favor, she can get a lot. Under such circumstances, Sun Ying'er made an appointment with Huo Linyuan. Huo Linyuan was stunned when he got the news. After all, Sun Ying'er is like this now, Huo Linyuan doesn't think she wants to look back. But since he was invited, of course he had to go and have a look. If he didn't, Sun Ying'er would definitely think that Huo Linyuan was afraid of him, and Huo Linyuan also felt that if he could win back Sun Ying'er, he would definitely give Sun Yan a hard beating. A heavy blow. Come to the restaurant. He sat opposite Sun Ying'er. Sun Ying'er, we haven't seen each other for just a few days. I never thought that you would change so much. I don't even recognize you now. Then you can tell me what I am like in your heart. Sun Ying'er picked up the cup and took a sip of water. What am I like in your heart? At this moment, Huo Linyuan thought of the former Sun Ying-er. The former Sun Ying-er didn't say anything and was always by his side, but he could clearly feel that Sun Ying-er's eyes were on him, and he could do anything. Think of yourself. When did it start to change? Everything has changed since Sun Yan approached Sun Ying-er. Huo Linyuan realized at this time that everything seemed to have changed since Sun Yan intervened. Huo Linyuan's eyes changed when he thought of this. You have really changed. To be honest, I have never thought about the position of my wife. In my heart, you can become my wife. When Sun Ying-er heard this, she really wanted to pour the water in her hand directly on the man in front of her. And she thought of what Sun Yan said. Sister, you have everything now, you have rights, don't worry, you can do whatever you want. After all, you have so much, and you are still so sneaky. You are treating yourself well, so you just go directly no matter what you do, I will be behind you. This glass of water can really be poured. Although it can be splashed, but... Your wife, haha, I really want to be your wife, but obviously I don't have such luck. Okay, Mr. Huo, let me tell you serious things. If you say these meaningless things here, then it will only delay things. Huo Linyuan smiled helplessly. I don't know if someone said something in front of you to make you like this and to this point. I really want to say that I really don't want us to reach this point. If I can make up for it, I will do whatever you want me to do. Lu Jing, who was sitting nearby, wanted to step forward and beat Huo Linyuan hard. What is going on with Huo Linyuan and why is he so shameless? He now doubted whether this Huo Linyuan was a man because he was so shameless. At this moment, Sun Ying-er's voice suddenly said loudly, Huo Linyuan, are you a man or not? You are so good at talking about it now. How did you get involved with my sister in the first place? End of this chapter. The vicious female supporting character's character collapsed after her voice was eavesdropped. Author, R.O. Wich John Word. Chapter 1175. Chapter 1175 Continue to make trouble. You must know that this restaurant is a high-end restaurant. The people who come and go in this restaurant are not ordinary people. It can also be said to be a person from the upper class. But as long as you are a human being, you will have a lot of gossip. These words immediately made some people look over. Huo Linyuan was immediately confused by Sun Ying-er's yelling. He was really confused. But Huo Linyuan soon came to his senses. I was happy the first time. Because in Huo Linyuan's eyes, this is a sign of Sun Ying-er's jealousy. As long as this woman can be jealous for herself, it means that this woman still has herself in her heart. As long as this woman has herself in her heart, she still has a future. She immediately said, that was all your sister who seduced me. I also thought it was your sister, so I let her succeed. If Sun Yan were not you, if you are my sister, then there is no way that Sun Yan is qualified to be my woman. Sun Ying-er and Sun Yan still have any so-called plans, but they just want to use this excuse to deal with Huo Linyuan severely and make Huo Linyuan feel a little deflated. But I didn't expect that Huo Linyuan could say such a thing. It was really shameless. Super shameless. I have never seen such a shameless person. Who is this Huo Linyuan? Now Sun Ying-er is really curious about what this Huo Linyuan thinks. Could it be that this Huo Linyuan thinks that he is the only man in the world? Haha, Sun Ying-er really thought that this guy thought like this. This has happened to you and my sister. If I have anything with you, then what will happen? Huo Linyuan, if you have no shame, then I will have more shame. Then what do you want? How do you want me to make it up to you? Just tell me directly. As long as I can do it, then I will definitely do it, and I will definitely not say anything more. It's very simple. I need you to be responsible for my sister, marry her, and show a man's responsible attitude. Don't let me look down on you. These words really made Huo Linyuan laugh. Ying-er, I know you are angry, but even if you are angry, you are not doing this. This is really a bit too much. Why are you going too far? Aren't you the one who touched my sister? Huo Linyuan, if you are a man, then you dare to do it? Your attitude really makes me look down on you. This is not about looking down on you or looking down on you, Sun Ying-er. My attitude just now has been very clear. You are the only wife of Huo Linyuan. What does it have to do with your sister? It is also for your sake. If Sun Yan is not you my sister, then she doesn't even have the right to get close to me. As soon as he finished saying this, a woman appeared in front of Huo Linyuan. Linyuan, why do you say that? This was not what we said before when we were together. You told me before that I am the woman in your heart. If it were not for the family, then I would be the one you marry. The next moment a lot of media appeared. Come up with the camera. Huo Linyuan laughed when he saw this scene. He still can't tell what happened. Ying-er, I didn't expect you to hate me so much. If you hate me so much, you can just tell me what you did to me. Then I won't say anything, as long as you can calm down. Sun Ying-er, why does she think this guy wants to be a love saint? However, even if this guy really wanted to be a lover, he would never give him a chance. Huo Linyuan, are you done with it? You are already like this with my sister, what else can you do? As a man, you should shoulder your own responsibilities. End of this chapter. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. The vicious female supporting character's character collapsed after her voice was eavesdropped. Author, R.O. Wich Jong Word. Chapter 1176. Chapter 1176. Lu Jing will really make himself proud. Sun Ying-er was fighting against Huo Linyuan. Lu Jing was watching from the side. Looking hard. But occasionally he looked at Sunian next to him. When Lu Jing turned around again, he saw Sunian taking out the computer at some point and typing frantically on the keyboard. Why can I, my aunt, hold a computer when I am in such a climax? Lu Jing approached curiously. But I didn't expect it, and I wouldn't know it until I saw it. I was shocked when I saw it. I only saw Sunian writing. A man first got engaged to his sister, and later fell in love with her when she was in contact with her, and then had an abortion. Overall, it's really bloody. Lu Jing couldn't help but say in this situation, Auntie, why are you so good at everything? You really put a lot of pressure on me. I really don't know what your brain is made of. Sunian turned to look at Lu Jing. Why do I feel like you are scolding me? Lu Jing quickly shook his head. Scold you? How could I have the courage to scold you? If I had the courage to scold you, then I would not be Lu Jing. I really admire you. I admire you so much that I don't know what to say. Wow, you are really awesome, super awesome. Sunian was sure that this guy didn't have the guts, so he looked away. What's the point? Gossip is an essential skill for us women. I've seen countless stories. I just made them up casually. There's nothing like that in this world. Who would care about authenticity when listening to a story? Sunian said this because Li Baikan told him before that Huo Linyuan was letting Luo Qian get in touch with Li's shareholders. She is probably thinking about shares. That was why there was such a big commotion. If this is the case, then I should accompany Huo Linyuan to perform this play well and play this game to a large extent, then I will find it interesting. Oh, you don't understand. What do you know as a man? But this Huo Linyuan is really a scumbag. I really didn't expect that there are such scumbag men in this world. I really feel sorry for my sister. I feel sorry for my sister and such a scumbag contact with scumbag men. Lu Jing nodded at this time. That's right, but there's nothing I can do about it. It's impossible for all men in this world to be as honest as me. Sun Yan looked at Lu Jing when he heard this. Hey, you guy really makes your face look good. Why are you so shameless now? Lu Jing didn't take it seriously. What do you mean by that? Is it cruel? It's called thick-skinned. Then aunt, tell me, what other advantages can I have? You always want me to have some advantages. If I have this advantage, if not, how can I still live in this world? Sun Yan, this really makes sense. Okay, aunt, I won't disturb you anymore. You write slowly and make that scumbag Huo Linyuan as scumbag as possible. You really have a big responsibility now. You need to expose Huo Linyuan the most authentic face, so that no one will continue to be deceived. Sun Yan felt that Lu Jing really couldn't speak. But Sun Yan smiled and continued writing. Lu Jing once again set his sights on Sun Ying, although he felt that with Huo Linyuan's identity, Huo Linyuan would not hit a woman no matter how angry he was. But there is a saying that don't be afraid of 10,000, just be afraid of the rare event. What if Huo Linyuan is really crazy and does such a thing? End of this chapter. The vicious female supporting character's character collapsed after her voice was eavesdropped. Author, R.O. Wich Jong Word. Chapter 1177. Chapter 1177. It's a game. And Sun Ying was not afraid at all that Huo Linyuan would not agree. After all, she knows very well what her younger sister is capable of. When I first got engaged to Huo Linyuan, this sister just pretends to be pitiful. Hitchhiked quickly with Huo Linyuan. She is that kind of pitiful woman who can easily win a man's heart. At the same time, Sun Yan clearly knew that this was her only chance. If she did not seize this opportunity, she might not be as good as Sun Ying in her life. This is something Sun Yan absolutely cannot allow to happen. So Sun Yan said pitifully, why do you do this to me? Can't you see my heart for you? When Sun Yan said this, she walked up to Huo Linyuan and grabbed his clothes. What on earth did I do? You clearly told me that you love me and care about me. Why has everything changed now? Linyuan, tell me what happened to make things like this. The scene behind such tears. Sun Ying was a little moved. At the same time, Sun Ying thought of how she had been sad because of similar scenes in the past. Hey, to put it bluntly, there is really nothing to feel sad about. Even now An is standing in the shoes of an outsider. It's really a bit funny. Huo Linyuan looked at Sun Yan. Sun Yan, do you know what you are doing? If you mess around, do you know what the consequences will be? Huo Linyuan's simple words made Sun Yan's heart tighten a little. Then came a biting chill. Sun Yan really didn't dare to continue talking. Sun Ying laughed when she saw Sun Yan like this. This woman really has no ability at all. Such an opportunity can even be said to be put in front of her. Sun Yan's immediately came back to her senses when she heard Sun Ying's laughter. Now is the most critical time. Furthermore, Sun Yan felt that as long as she could become Mrs. Huo and Huo Linyuan's wife, she would definitely win the man's heart. But if she backed down now, she might not have any possibility with this man in her life. When she thought of this, the timidity in Sun Yan's heart disappeared, and was replaced by a firm look in her eyes. What happened? Why did it happen? Why did the man who kept saying he loved me disappear? You once said you loved me. You once told me that you would love my man the most in this world. Why is this happening? What happened to you and what caused you to change your mind? When Sun Ying heard this, she knew it was time to perform by herself. Mr. Huo, everyone is watching here, you still have to say something. If you don't speak, then others will think that I stole it. My sister's woman, what should I do? After all, I have just taken over my family's company. If this is really the case, what should I do? The reporters around seemed to smell it, so they asked questions like crazy. Mr. Huo, what is going on? You and the two women from the Sun family are so involved. What do you think? Do you think the younger sister or the older sister is better? It seems that you were engaged to your sister before, now you are like this with your sister. What are you thinking in your heart? Whether you like your younger sister or your older sister, can you tell me directly? End of this chapter. The vicious female supporting character's character collapsed after her voice was eavesdropped. Author, R.O. Wich Jong Word. Chapter 1178. Chapter 1178. Huo Linyuan's patience reaches its limit. Huo Linyuan's patience had reached its limit, so when he looked at the media, he said coldly, "I wonder who dares to continue talking here." After saying this, everyone around became quiet. The media glanced at each other and continued to ask Huo Linyuan, "Mr. Huo, what do you mean? Do you mean to threaten us? Why are you threatening us? Did what we just said touch your heart? You are scared. Actually, you know in your heart that such behavior is unacceptable and is very embarrassing. Since you have this idea in your heart, why would you do this? Do you look down on women in your heart? But your mother is also a woman. Did you encounter some problem when you were young? If you really have any shadows in your heart, then you can speak out and we will definitely use the power of the media." Sun Ying'er felt really happy when she saw this. She knew exactly what Huo Linyuan was thinking. These media were all conscientious media, super conscientious. It was for this reason that Li Baikan bought them specially. How could these media be frightened by Huo Linyuan's situation? Moreover, Li Baikan also told them that if Huo Linyuan did anything to them during the interview and caused any work-related injuries, they would still be compensated. Even several times the compensation. Otherwise how could she bring these media here? So the media had Li Baikan's promise, and they all rushed towards Huo Linyuan as if they were crazy. They even wished that Huo Linyuan could do something to them. Such a posture is really... Huo Linyuan finally couldn't bear it anymore and shouted directly at people, "What do you mean? What do you want to do? You must know clearly what you are doing now. Don't regret what you are doing now." Seeing that Huo Linyuan was still threatening, Sun Ying'er laughed directly, "Huo Linyuan, why are you still threatening people at this time? Since my sister is your woman, then you have to take the responsibility of a man. Don't you? Doesn't this person have the responsibility of a man? If you don't have the responsibility, then how can you live in this world? I really don't know what's going on in your head. Not only do you not want to be responsible for my sister, but you also want to marry me. Are women from my Sun family so cheap? That's the one you want, Huo Linyuan, what are you trying to do? Just what, why, what do you think?" Sun Yan just cried. This situation really gave Huo Linyuan a headache. Huo Linyuan really didn't expect that Sun Ying'er would do this. In Huo Linyuan's eyes, it was impossible that Sun Ying'er didn't have much feelings for him. After all, he and she had been entangled for so long. "Sun Ying'er, what do you mean by this? You want to be like this with me? If so, then you and her I have no chance at all. Can you really allow this to happen? Why can't I let this happen? Why can't I allow it? This is my sister. As a sister, what's wrong with me seeking justice for my sister? Huo Linyuan, if you really don't want to, okay, then our grandson the family has nothing to do with the Huo family." End of this chapter. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. The vicious female supporting character's character collapsed after her voice was eavesdropped. Author, R.O. Wich Jong Word. Chapter 1179. Chapter 1179 is really good at editing. Huo Linyuan looked at Sun Ying'er. I want to see a little bit of caring about myself from Sun Ying'er's face, but I really can't see it. Sun Yan is really worried now. She was really afraid that Huo Linyuan would not agree. At the same time, she really hated Sun Ying'er like crazy. She knew that this Sun Ying'er must not be so kind to help her, but just to humiliate herself. It's just to embarrass myself that I act like this. She did this just to make Huo Linyuan feel that she was different, that's why she acted like this. This was really vicious. She couldn't be too vicious. But Sun Ying'er had no choice. If she didn't take advantage of this opportunity, she would never become the mistress of the Huo family in her life. You must endure it now. Sun Ying'er, I'll give you one last chance. If you don't cherish it, I won't even look at you even if you kneel at my feet in this life. But when Sun Ying'er heard this, she laughed directly, ha ha ha, I kneel down to beg you. I beg the man who has a relationship with my sister to have anything to do with me. Ha ha ha, this is really funny, super it's funny. I've never heard such a joke in my life. It's really funny. But Sun Ying'er's behavior really slapped Huo Linyuan in the face. So Huo Linyuan walked up to Sun Ying'er and grabbed Sun Ying'er's hand, this is my last chance for you. If you really don't want to cherish this opportunity, then you are really finished, and we are finished too. It's over, it's over. Do you still think I might like you? Haha, Huo Linyuan, you are not the only man in this world, why do you think I must be you? The two of them just looked at each other. Don't give in to anyone. Huo Linyuan could only let go in the end, okay, you won, you completely won. Huo Linyuan then walked outside. Sun Ying'er felt really happy. In the past, her family members, the so-called family members, said that they must please Huo Linyuan well. What would happen if Huo Linyuan was really angry? But he doesn't consider his own thoughts at all. Don't consider it at all. Thinking about it now, Sun Ying'er thought that she was really like a dog before, a dog that followed him. In fact, Huo Linyuan's attitude also explains everything. I always feel that if I say something casually, I can turn around obediently. What the hell? Sun Ying'er looked at Sun Yan who was standing next to her, what are you still doing here? Do you really want me to send Huo Linyuan directly to your bed, and then you just eat ready-made food? If that's what I really want, then why should I send it to your bed? Wouldn't it be bad if I sent it to someone else's bed? After all, if I put you on someone else's bed, they would kneel on the ground and say thank you to me. When Sun Yan heard this, she hurriedly ran in the direction that Huo Linyuan left just now. Sun Ying'er frowned when she saw the motionless appearance of these media. What do you mean? What are you doing here motionless? My brother-in-law is giving you money. Do you want to do something you should do? What's the point of wasting your time? When the media heard this, they immediately came to their senses and left in a hurry. Then there was a sudden movement, and everyone was gone. Such a situation really made Sun Ying'er a little confused about what to say. There is no vision at all. Sun Ying'er then walked towards the direction of Sunian. When he saw Sunian typing frantically on the keyboard, he asked curiously, Nian, what are you doing? Aunt Sun, my aunt is making up stories. Sun Ying'er looked over when she heard this, and fell silent when she saw Sunian's screen. The point where silence can no longer be silenced. Really good at editing. End of this chapter. The vicious female supporting character's character collapsed after her voice was eavesdropped. Author, R.O. Wich Jong Word. Chapter 1180. Chapter 1180. Nian, I really didn't expect that your ability to tell stories is so good. I'm really curious now, is there anything else in this world that you can't do? Hey, what's so difficult about this? Just make it up here. There's no difficulty at all. Just write it like this. When Sunian said this, he didn't mean to stop at all. Just typing like crazy on the keyboard. While knocking, Sunian also continued, I think this Huo Linyuan is trying to use this to attract our attention. If this is the case, then we will make a big fuss, no matter how big it is. She can understand this. But this Sunian's writing is really a bit bloody. It's too bloody. But for Sunian and the others, Huo Linyuan's attitude was really good. The Sun family's company is, after all, the most important cooperative company of the Huo family. However, due to some problems in the operation of Sun Village, the Sun family group is like this. However, now Sun Ying'er has taken over, with the strong support of the Li family and the Lu family. Any project will come alive. Mastering the Huo family at the same time has also become an advantage. Hu Linyuan began to face various difficulties. Even Huo's family is going to be in crisis. Sun Ying'er feels really happy now. She and Sunian were in the office of Sun Group. Sun Ying'er held the wine glass. I really want to go find that Huo Linyuan now, and then threaten that guy severely. If you don't do what I want, then your company will be given to me go bankrupt. Yeah, that's it. Sunian also thought it made sense. Ha ha ha, this is the male protagonist or an important character in the novel suppressing others. In the novel, such a plot is called a refreshing feeling. Needless to say, it is really a bit refreshing. Huo Linyuan must marry this woman to me. He must marry me. If you don't marry me, then your family will be finished. Sun Ying'er started laughing when she said this. But while she was smiling, Sun Ying'er's tears fell. When Sunian saw Sun Ying'er like this, she immediately lost her composure. She immediately put the cup in her hand next to her and went to hug Sun Ying'er. Sister, what's wrong with you? What's wrong with you? Aren't you happy? Aren't you happy? If you are still not happy, then I can think of more ways to torment him. I just feel that things are a bit unstable. They used to threaten me like this, threatening me crazily. Ha ha ha, I really didn't expect that one day it would be like this. I really never dreamed that such a day would happen. Nian, thank you really, if not. Okay, you don't know how many times you have said this in the past few days. Let me put it in a bad way. I really don't think it means anything when you say this. What is our relationship? We are sisters. Why are you still talking so much? If you keep talking, then you can just kowtow to me. That would be fine. These words made Sun Ying'er laugh. Lu Jing next to him said weakly, me too. These words made both women look at him. Lu Jing's heart suddenly tightened when he was looked at by these two people. Then Lu Jing said, I mean, don't you feel uncomfortable drinking on an empty stomach like this? I wonder if I should get you something so that you can feel better. End of this chapter.